Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Better Late Than Never podcast. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. It's Sunday. It's a beautiful day, but it is freezing outside. Just got home from church not too long ago. It was a really great service. I always look forward to Sunday service. Today I plan on throwing some wisdom y'all's way. First, I wanted to say that I have gotten some feedback from the podcast, and these videos I'm literally filming right now on my phone. I have it on a tripod, filming on my phone, and you might notice that none of the podcast videos that I upload to YouTube are edited. I am not new to social media at all. I have been on Instagram, all the platforms for some years. I'm also a millennial, so I literally was raised into social media. I remember I was on Twitter back in 2010 or whenever it started, 2011. So I'm not new to social media. I am new to podcasting and, uploading videos to YouTube. And I don't really know a thing or too much about videography and editing videos. I could definitely hire somebody to edit my videos. But for right now, as I'm growing and I'm really getting into the gist of things, this is I think my 14th episode. So I kind of just some days I kind of just get on the mic, get on the camera and just speak what's on my mind. Some days I'll have notes, like today I have my little iPad here with all of my notes. So yeah, it's kind of just, I am passionate about it. I've always been passionate about YouTube, and I really do want people to be interested in what I'm saying. But until things get deeper within the podcast and I have more time and all of that good stuff, then I will edit them. But it's crazy because I feel like TikTok and Reels and all of these minute, 30-second clips have kind of just taught society to be a little ADD and not be able to pay attention to longer video formats, which is kind of sad because growing up I watched YouTubes and I loved watching vlogs, and even if it was an hour long video, I would still sit there and watch it. But nowadays it's people want things, they want all the information as quickly as possible. And it's kind of weird to me too because the IRL videos have become popular recently, just filming your life and it be in real life. It's live. So it's weird to me how some people will go watch the IRL videos, but they won't sit and watch a 30-45 minute video on YouTube. It is what it is, but I'm one of those people, I like to just, even if there's pauses, even if there's no editing between ums and likes and thoughts and crap like that, it's just, I'm here for it. I feel like it's a little bit more authentic. Anyways, I will stop on my rant about that, but yeah, just bear with me, guys. I definitely know how important it is to edit videos and make it more, better for the viewers. So I love y'all's feedback. Thank you for that. But yeah, for now, I'm just, like I said, putting my phone on a tripod, pressing record, and going with the flow. So hopefully you guys can just stick by me. Anyways, today I wanted to talk a little bit about how to survive or overcome a long-term relationship. And the reason why I feel like I can talk about this and give advice and give some wisdom is because I have only been in one relationship my whole life. I got into a relationship when I was 20 years old. I was a sophomore in college, and that relationship lasted until I was 28 going on 29. So I was in an 8 going on 9-year relationship. And there's so many things in the relationship that I had wished I had done differently, but that's just life, I feel like, and that's how you go through adversity. And I feel like the only way for you to really learn in life is to go through adversity and go through hard things, because it's just a fact. Like, you have to go through things in life to grow as a person. If you're steady on this one track life where everything is going perfect for you, you're not going to learn, you're not going to grow. And I could talk about, the things in the relationship that I, wish I could change, but I was also a child. Like, a lot of young adults think that they know everything when they're in their early 20s. I definitely did. I thought I knew everything. I didn't want to hear any advice from anyone. I moved in with my boyfriend, was playing house, was playing wife, thought that it was gonna, last forever and be perfect. And sadly, that was not the case. But that's okay. I live alone now, and I wish I've said this before, but like, I definitely think that you should live alone until you're married, because it's just, there's a reason why that's a thing, and that's a lesson in the word. But yeah, I'm getting off on a little bit of a tangent here, but how to overcome the breakup is the hardest part, because obviously at first you feel like your life is just falling apart. You don't know where to go, especially when you're living with someone too. That was like the main thing. You might, even if you're in a relationship and you live with that person, you might just stick in the relationship because it's comfortable and it's what you know, and you don't want to have to deal with the baggage of maybe moving out, or just the financial burden, or what your friends are going to think about you, what your family's going to think about you. But if your friends are your real friends and your family loves you, then they're going to stick by you no matter what decision you make. And it might be hard for the other person, but sometimes in life you just have to be a little bit selfish and think about your own needs and where you're at in life. So when I finally decided to leave the relationship, and I will never say anything bad about him because he is an amazing person and I still deeply love him, and we were even like trying to rekindle things a little bit, but we are just we were and kind of still are in totally different places in our lives. So to go back a little bit, in 2020 during COVID, I was super depressed. I was laid off from my job, so I was unemployed. I was stuck in this house. He then got unemployed, so we were stuck in the same house. And I don't care who you're with, if you're stuck in the same house with anybody, especially somebody that's really close to you, you're gonna start butting heads. It's just not gonna look good. But I went into a pretty deep depression. I ruined the relationship with my parents by saying and doing stupid things and just not being myself. And growing up, I've always been like a very faithful Christian, and I've always been super involved in the church. Well, my faith had definitely imploded. So in 2020, I literally just I got to this point where I felt like I was at rock bottom, and the only thing that really got me through it was coming back to my faith. And well, hello there. For my listeners, Rebel has just joined the conversation. Man, Rebel, you make me lose my train of thought. He's so cute. By the way, if you listen to my last podcast, Rebel is doing much better. He got attacked by another dog, but he's all healed up now. He's doing good. So yeah, I tried to get back into my faith. So I started reading the Bible, and just praying to God and talking to people that I know were also Christian and had good morals, especially like my stepmom. And I went home one weekend after I had finally fixed the relationship with my parents, and I just kind of let it all out and told them where I was at, and told them that I was just unsure in my relationship and I didn't know. I just didn't know. It wasn't like, yeah, I want to leave him, and I really did not know because I still had feelings for him, but it just felt so deep in my heart that a higher power, for me, it was God, was telling me, you need to change up what you're doing. And the only way I knew I was going to do that is if I moved out. So it was hard. I mean, I had to make a decision and stick by that because I couldn't just be like, oh, by the way, I'm moving out and we're breaking up, and then go back to it. I had to, and like I said, it had nothing to do with him. It had something deeper to do with me and listening to God. And that is so hard sometimes, to listen to a higher power that you've never seen in person. It's just all faith. It's all faith. And when God is telling you to do something, you can ignore it, and you can ignore it, and you can ignore it, and you can ignore it, but it will never go away. And I told the girls in my church group, I was like, it was like a crying baby in the room. You could ignore it and ignore it and ignore it, but it's not going to go away. It's there, and you have to face it. So it was hard for him to understand, and it was hard for me to understand, but I just knew that the Lord was telling me, like, you have to make a change. So I spoke to my boss. I work on a farm. I spoke to my boss. She had an open place on the farm, and I moved into and I've talked about this on other episodes, which I definitely want to encourage you, if you've not listened to other episodes, go listen, because you can learn a little bit more about me in this whole situation. Moved onto the farm by myself. I live in a double wide trailer by myself, just me and Rebel. And now I have a bunny and a cat too, but that's besides the point. And it was so hard, you guys. I remember the first night by myself, I was just bawling and bawling and bawling my eyes out, going to sleep bawling. There was one day I was in my bathroom and I just started yelling. I'm like, I live alone. I can yell. Nobody's going to hear me. I started screaming on the top of my lungs, Lord, like, what am I doing? I'm alone. I'm sad. I lost my comfort person and the person that I always fall back to. And I'm out of my comfort zone. I'm alone. And I was battling other little things like mice. But I had to just grow up. I had to grow up and I had to face it. And eventually, being alone started to feel normal. Being alone started to feel like nice. And I started learning more about myself. I started putting myself out of my comfort zone. I was joining a church group with all these girls that I did not know from Adam. I didn't know any of them. I knew nothing about them, but I put myself out of my comfort zone. And I cried to them about my situation, and it could not have gone literally any better. So what that brings me to is that when you go through a breakup, you need to find a meaning that's higher than yourself, because you're never going to get through it by yourself. I know, you're going to have your family, you're going to have your friends, but they're going to go on with their lives. And at the end of the day, you're going to eventually be alone, and you're going to be alone with your thoughts. And for me, it was God. And every time I got alone and every time I got into my thoughts, I just prayed and immediately felt better. Or I opened the Bible and there was always just a verse that was like, dang, like I feel that to the core. And dedicate yourself to that. I dedicated myself to my faith. I literally, you guys, have never felt more on fire for God than I do right here in this moment. He's all I ever think about. He's all I ever talk to when I'm by myself. I'm always talking to God. And if there's anybody that I would want to have such a beautiful romance with, it's him. And it's like, I might feel less loved because I don't have a man in my life, but I feel so loved in my relationship with God. And with that, you have to study. So I've been studying the word. I try to read the Bible every day that I can. I listen to podcasts. I love podcasts. And you just have to dedicate yourself and study, because you have to find a meaning higher than yourself. Also, keep yourself busy, but keep yourself busy in the correct way. So sometimes girls, and especially younger girls, will be like, oh, I just broke up with my boyfriend and I'm now in my hoe phase and I am going to talk to all these guys and I'm going to kiss whoever I want and I'm going to go to the bars every weekend and I'm going to look hot and I'm going to work out and I'm going to have a revenge body. And it might fill you for a little while, but you're going to feel so much worse after the fact. The day after you've gone to party and you may have done some things you weren't proud of, the next day you're going to feel so bad about yourself. And where did that get you? Where did it get you? It didn't get you anywhere. So find new hobbies, find a new community, surround yourself with people who are like-minded and have your best interest at heart, who won't use you. Because I've had some girlfriends who have definitely had my best interests at heart and would just use me for certain things. And I mean, it might be dumb. It might be dumb hobbies like, I mean, I don't think hobbies are really dumb, but like I started embroidering. So I got like an embroidery kit for beginners off Amazon. And I've just been like, I feel like 80-year-old Sally, just embroidering and listening to my Christian podcasts. But honestly, like, I love it. You need a new routine and a new atmosphere. So my new atmosphere was obviously moving onto the farm. Like since I can remember as a little girl, I've always wanted to be on a farm. I've always wanted to be on the country. And I never in a million years thought it would take me doing the hardest thing I've ever done to get to somewhere that I've always wanted to be, if that makes sense. Like I've always wanted to be in the country. I've always wanted to live on a farm. I've always wanted to be around animals and the South. But I never thought that it would be me being heartbroken to get there. But yeah, you definitely need a new atmosphere. I'm not saying move cities, move countries, but just I feel like energy can definitely attach itself to an item or a place. Like if I ever go back to that house that I was living in with him, I don't like being there. Like I just don't, because it just brings back memories that I don't want to have. It brings back 2020 when I was stuck in that place and my dog Blue died there. That was very traumatic. Just don't like being there. And a new routine as well. So like I'm not talking like change up your skincare routine or your morning routine. It just needs to be a little different. If you were used to coming home and immediately like calling the boyfriend or hanging out with the boyfriend, spend time with your girlfriends. Spend time alone at the coffee shop reading a book. Or there's a place called Sweetheart Circle. I live in a college town, and like the campus greens, it's called Sweetheart Circle. When it's warm and not 40 degrees out like it is today, I'll go put down a little blanket and study the word or just read a book. So yeah, just find a new routine, and I promise after some time it'll feel like normal. I talked a little bit about community, but it is super important to have a good community around you. I honestly don't know what I would have done if I had not found that church group, and we meet every Wednesday and I look forward to it so much. Like, just these girls are so just amazing. They're so amazing. And I feel like I could tell them anything. I feel like I've known them for so long. But find you a good community. Go to a church around you. Just tell them that you want to join a singles group. And who knows, you might find your husband there, your next boyfriend there. And telling you guys, church is a great place to go. And I know some people are scared of the church, and I understand. And when I first moved out, I hopped around churches. Like, I tried 3 or 4 different churches before I found the one that I'm like obsessed with. So it's going to take some effort. It might take a few weeks, but definitely give it a try. So I am obviously podcasting right now, but I love podcasts. I think they're a great way to get info and get wisdom, like I'm doing right now for you guys. But I love waking up in the morning, getting my cup of coffee, putting my makeup on, and playing a podcast as I do my makeup. And a couple that I like are Whoa, That's Good by Sadie Robertson. And then there's mental healing and advice podcasts. There's podcasts about crime, which can be kind of cool. And then there's like gossip podcasts. Like, y'all, I even love listening to the Cancel podcast with Tana Mojo. I think that's how you say your name. But it's just like, we're so different, and that's fine. Like, there's no there's no judgment there, but I think she's so funny. And like, I might not agree with everything she says, but it's just, sometimes it's nice to listen to somebody who's totally different than you and has total different views than you do, but they entertain you. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So definitely want to encourage you guys to listen to podcasts, listen to music. And okay, I know a lot of people are like, oh, breakup music, like, y'all, breakup music got me through it. Okay, I love a good sad song. I love a good heartbreak song. Jam your little heart out to all the breakup songs. Just do it. Just do it. So alone time is also really important, you guys. Like, you need to learn how to be alone before you can really even be with anybody else anyway. You have to be, like that cliche saying, like, you need to love yourself before somebody else can love you. It's so cliche, but it's so true at the same time. Like, prayer, journaling, reading, all of that when you're by yourself, it's very beneficial, especially journaling. Like, I started journaling like the day after my breakup, and now I can go read back on those pages and see how much I have grown since then. Like, pretty sure you can look on the page and see where I was crying. You can see teardrops. You can see like pen, like watermarks, and you can see how hurt I was in those words. But then you keep flipping the pages, and then you see like, oh wow, you grew just from a breakup. Think about that, from breaking up with a person that you loved. You can learn so much about yourself. You can like heal your own heart, and you can find new hobbies. You can find new friends. Your whole life can change for the better. So I definitely want to encourage journaling. Even if you hate writing and you think, oh, it's so stupid, try it out. Just try it out, because I promise you, 2 months down the road, you're going to want to go look back at those journal entries and be like, dang, it was all worth it. Get outside. Get the frick outside. If you are sitting in your bed, just binge watching shows, which I love a good binge watch. I love reality TV. I watch it all day long. But that is where you're going to overthink. That is where you're going to start texting him. That's where you're going to start calling him. And then it's just a downward spiral from there. Get outside. Not everybody I know lives on a farm and can just go outside and go on a little adventure. Find a walking trail or join a gym. Oh, I love the gym. And there's nothing wrong with the whole revenge body thing. That's totally fine. Girl, do your thing. But do it for yourself. Don't do it to impress other people or impress other guys, because who cares about other guys? Like, honestly, let's be real. But yeah, find a farm around you. Like, we have animals out here. We have like goats and chickens and peacocks and literally every single type of animal you can imagine, and they just make me so happy. And you can talk to them and you can tell them how you're feeling and they won't talk back. It's the best thing ever. It's like a therapist, but you don't have to pay for it. Just go talk to the animals, let them know how you're feeling, give them a little rub, a little pet, a little hug, a little kiss. Or maybe that's just me. I just love animals, so I do that. I do that on the regular. So I only had a Rebel when I moved out, but I also got a bunny. Her name is Muffin, and I got a cat. And the reason why I got a cat is because I had a mouse problem, so I needed some help. But I'm like obsessed with her now, and I never in a million years thought I would be a cat person ever. But I love her. Like, I literally love my cat. So I have a bloodhound, a cat, and a bunny, and they're BFFs. But if you get a animal, please at least make sure that you can take care of them financially, and you can actually take care of them, give them your love and affection and time. But getting another animal is a good thing, because it gives you some responsibility. It gives you something else to put your focus and attention on, and they're just sweet and cuddly, and it's a new thing in your life that you can give your love to. You don't have to give your love to a guy, okay? If you're not into the animal thing, you can start planting, gardening, start growing things that you actually have to take responsibility for and put attention into. If you're gonna like garden and grow some damn peppers that you can cook later on, cook with, you've got to know what you're doing. And I don't know, this is not a podcast about planting, okay? I'm just saying, trying to give good advice here. Hang on one second. Viewers, my thing will only record up to 30 minutes. Not really sure why. So I have to like stop it and start recording again. Okay. So through all of this and your breakup, you have to also remember to take care of yourself. Self-care is so important. I always love the get a new hairdo after your breakup. I think it's awesome. Just get a new hairdo, girl. It'll make you feel so much more better about yourself, so more confident. I didn't get like a new hairdo. I did get highlights, which I do need to go get them done again. But feeling confident is like the best thing. You just need to feel confident. Invest in some skincare so your skin can be glowy and you don't look like your heart is broken. Invest in some new makeup. Watch some old school makeup tutorials, some Jaclyn Hill. Learn some new makeup routines and looks, and just invest in yourself, because girl, you ain't investing in no guy no more. So invest in yourself. And I'm not saying like invest in your looks, like looks are all that matter. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying when your confidence is high, it just helps so much. And especially as like a single girl, and you're going to start putting yourself out there in new communities, and new churches and all of that good stuff, need to feel good about yourself. Be confident. That was one thing I had to tell myself over and over, is that I just needed to be confident. Like, why would you not be confident? Like, when I walked into that room with like, I don't know, it was a lot of girls. It was like 10 or 15 girls that I did not know at all. I just told myself right then and there, I was like, girl, be confident, because I know who I am. They don't know who you are yet, but if you go in there and you're just timid, you need to just be yourself. So I went in there with my head held high, and I gave them all of me. I gave them all of my personality because I have a lot of it. And they got to know me so fast, and I already felt like I was part of the group. So it's just, confidence is key, okay? Another thing that helped me is I went on a vacation with my family shortly after everything, and it was so helpful. So we went on like a cruise. Guys, first of all, I love cruises. Cruises are amazing. If any cruise line wants to sponsor me on a trip, I would accept it in a heartbeat. I love cruises. I think they're like the best vacation because everything is just right there, and it's usually tropical, and I love being in tropical areas, and But I went on a vacation with my family, spent a lot of time with my family, and it was so needed. And I'm just so happy I did that. And even if it's not with your family, find a girlfriend, or hell, go by yourself. Guys, I never in a million years thought I would ever travel anywhere by myself, but I traveled to Chicago by myself, well, to be on a reality TV show. But that's a whole other subject, which makes it a little bit more scarier, to be honest. But I went to Chicago by myself. I explored the city by myself. I put myself out there by myself. And honestly, it was so thrilling and so just like rewarding. And then also getting yourself out of the complete vicinity of the city that you had the breakup in is like even more healing. So, and I definitely suggest somewhere tropical, or like a beach, or somewhere where you can just lay out in the sun, relax, have a pina colada, no worries, that kind of thing. So travel, get out of there, and stop sulking in your bed. And listen to some breakup jams, because we love breakup jams. Morgan Wallen, hello. So yeah, if that's you, if you're going through a major breakup right now, I really hope that all of this advice helps some way, somehow. Like I said, mine was an 8.5 year breakup. That is literally insane. That's like a divorce. That's literally like a divorce. And we had 2 dogs together, so I had to break up with the dog too. So, but look at me now. Like, I'm happy as can be. And I'm on fire with my faith, like I said. So if I can do it, you can do it. Trust me. On some other topics, it is a new year. My gym has been freaking jam-packed, which is awesome. But like, I'm like, give it a couple months and everybody's not going to be so new year, new me anymore. Fitness goals. I didn't really go the revenge body route. I've always kind of been a gym goer. So it fluctuates though. Like when I first started back at the gym, which was like during COVID, or like a little bit after COVID when the gyms reopened, I was going like 5 days a week because I had the time. But now I go like 2 or 3 times a week, which I really don't like. I wish I could go more like 4 times a week. And that's kind of like a goal of mine that I have for this year, is just to go to the gym more. Also to be healthier, eat healthier. Around the holidays, I always eat so bad. And I feel like that's everybody. It's so hard to say no to the pumpkin pie. It's so hard to say no to the mashed potatoes. Like, it's just hard. And I love food. I am such a foodie. I love food. You guys, like, I could eat all day. I'm not even kidding you. I love food. But obviously it's not good for you. And I did gain some weight over the holidays. Obviously, I think I just naturally lose weight around summertime because, like, you can be more active, I feel like, outside, and you're sweating a lot. So you just kind of, like, naturally lose weight. But I want to be more consistent in the gym. I've even, like, kind of been, like, dressing a little bit more sporty, which is so not me. I mean, like, I'm very girly. But I've been, like, wearing more, like, Adidas and Nike like sweatpants and like the sports bra and like, you know, I don't know. It's just me trying to give myself an excuse to go more consistently to the gym, but it's okay. I'm even like considering buying one of those like smartwatches that like keep up with your heart rate and like your like how many calories you lose. I don't know. It's pathetic. But yeah, I think fitness is like on the rise. I think it's always on the rise, but like more now than I feel like it has been in the last few years. So I don't know. Who else is in like the gym girly moment? Let me know. So I always like to talk about pop culture because I'm a woman. Does that make sense? I love talking about pop culture because I like to talk and I like entertainment. And when I was little, I wanted to be an actress. So it just all fits the mold. But let's talk about some pop culture stuff. So Ariana Grande and her new song. So my very first episode, I talked about Ariana Grande a little bit. Because what was the scandal that she was it the Ethan Slater scandal? Maybe it was. Anyway, she came out with a song and apparently it's like her singing about the situation with the Ethan guy, and the title of the song is Yes and ? Some of y'all might not like this, but I am a conservative, and I listen to Candace Owens, and she said it so perfectly the other day on her podcast. She basically called Ariana Grande a hoe. And I kind of agree. Yeah, I agree. Girl. First it was break up with your boyfriend because I'm bored. Yikes. And now it's yes and I stole your man, I'm a homewrecker. Jeez. If somebody needs Jesus, it's a little bit of Ariana, but you know what? You know what makes me a little bit of a hypocrite is I'm wearing her perfume right now. I am literally wearing her perfume. The Cloud perfume. Oh my god, it smells so freaking good. But that girl is nuts. And he's so... Like, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because it's not always about looks. But I saw this one interview with him and he is just like dork spectrum number 10. And she's like a very pretty pop star. But I guess it just shows her nasty character. I guess you could have a pretty face and a terrible personality and character, and so I guess she gets what she gets, right? Speaking of singers, Megan Maroney just came out with her new song No Caller ID on Friday, and I'm obsessed. It doesn't really okay, for all you girls who's going through a breakup, this one's for you. No Caller ID by Megan Maroney. So good. Go listen to it. If you don't like country, I don't care. Go listen to it. It's really good, and I love her, and she's beautiful, and she reminds me of she's like a modern day Dolly Parton to me. That's what she reminds me of. So there's been so I'm so glad I don't live in California, first of all, because their government is literally out of control. But so I used to be a waitress, and they're trying to do this thing or they are doing this thing in California, where they're adding a 7% or some crazy number. Is it 4%, 7%? I think it was 4%. Can't remember the percentage. But they're automatically adding this gratuity to the bill, at restaurants. It's called something about health, something about keeping servers healthy. So they're adding an extra 4 to 7%, I can't remember, to the bill already, and that's without your tip. And if you don't know, servers only make $2.15 an hour. So if you're not tipping them, then they're literally making no money. And I'm all about only tip your server if they deserve it. If you have a shit server, don't tip them. But obviously, you should always tip. Because I used to be a server, and it was really aggravating when I know that I deserved a tip, and they would be like, here's a dime. Don't go out to eat. Don't go out to eat if you can't tip. But if you're somewhere like California and they're adding on this extra gratuity, that is insane. First of all, people can barely even afford to get groceries as it is. Thank you, Biden. But yeah, I don't know. Like, there's like a whole tipping culture thing, and restaurants can like literally just like get away with paying their servers $2 an hour, and like I don't even know what that new gratuity goes. I'm sure it doesn't go to the freaking servers. Are you serious? You're trying to keep your servers healthy? Like, what? Then clean your damn kitchen. Ugh. Anyway. And then lastly, TikTok Shop. What do y'all think about TikTok Shop? I just ordered from TikTok Shop. That's a freaking tongue twister, you guys. The other day, because I heard that you can like get stuff that is usually like kind of expensive for like super cheap. And when I went on there, they were like selling things for like a freaking penny. I got this bracelet that says WWJD, which it looked pretty kind of cheap. Like, you know, it's just like one of those little flimsy bracelets made out of like, I don't know, just probably $1, like $1 bracelet. I got it for a penny. And then I got these leggings that were like pretty good quality. The rest is still in the mail. But yeah, you can get some stuff for cheap. I think TikTok is trying to be like the new Amazon, is at least what I heard. Like, they're trying to like get on that scope of things, which is crazy. And I don't know how I feel about it. I love Amazon, but I don't love Amazon's politics. I don't love Amazon's politics. But yeah, what are y'all thoughts on TikTok Shop? And then like me as a creator, I kind of like it as well, because like I can I can buy stuff and then I can promote it on my page and get a commission. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, you can do that on Amazon too with Amazon affiliates, but I feel like TikTok is more of the new thing, you know? But anyway, that is all I got for you guys today. Hopefully I did speak some wisdom into some of you guys and some of your girls' hearts. I know a breakup is not easy. It's probably one of the most hardest freaking things out there. And me as a 29-year-old woman who's single and doesn't have any kids, I'm so ready to settle down. I'm so ready for a family. I'm so ready for kids. I'm so ready for that next chapter in my life. And I definitely feel like I'm at like a standstill in my life. I'm like, dude, when can I turn the page? When can I turn the page into the next chapter? Like, I'm just waiting. And I like to call it the waiting period of your life. Everybody's going to have a waiting period in your life for different reasons. But, I don't know. You just have to be patient, and you have to have faith, and you have to just pray about it. But yeah, if you're not already, go ahead and hit that follow button if you are on YouTube or Spotify. And you can follow me on Instagram for all of my like daily updates. I'm there all the time. Alexis with 2 S's, Noelle, Noelle. And like I said, this is a very unedited podcast, but hopefully it suits you and you stick around. Love you guys. Bye-bye.